What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Jashayla, and I just wanted to check in with you guys to show you what I got going on and to do a little bit of artist appreciation. All right, so I'm going to show you what happens when artists create music and how it all comes together. All right, stay tuned. Artist appreciation. What do I mean by that? Basically, I just want to explain to you guys how songs are made from the top to the bottom, because I think when everyone's streaming and it's like 99 cents for a song or something, people don't really want to pay for a song, and sometimes I feel a way about that, because I'm like, if only people really knew what it took to make one song. There's so many people involved, and there's so many things that come into play just to create one song. So we're gonna take you on a little journey to explain to you how a song is made. The first step, songs can be made all kinds of ways, so I don't really want to make you feel like every single song is made just like this, but for the most part, give or take a few steps, songs are made generally like this. Generally, it can either start from a producer creating a track from scratch, or it can start from a writer who has a feeling and a flavor and a vibe that they have it in their head and they know what they want. So let's go our producer route, okay? So producer route, this person, and obviously all of these people could be the same person, but in the end, they're still putting in the hours and the creative juices are flowing and putting in the time and the effort to make a song. So when you start from the producer side, a producer is going to start with a drum track. He's going to play the drum track or put the drum track using an MPC or some kind of drum machine, whatever they're using. They're going to do the drum track. They're going to have to put the strings in. They're going to have to put the keys in. They're going to have to put all the different elements of the instrumentation into the song. So I'm sure you can imagine just playing that in your head. You don't come with the whole sound in your head right away. Each track is layered. Just like you can see here, I hope you guys can see, each track is layered. Those are just vocals. But for the producer, they also have to go through the same step of creating layers with each track. So drum track, guitar, whatever you put in a song, not everything has something in there, but to give it flavor, they're going to keep adding. And as they listen to it, they start playing something, they save it, and then they go back and they listen to it again, like, oh, I want to add a cymbal, or I want to add a boom cat, whatever, 808. They're going to do that step by step. So you already know that that's going to take some time, at least an hour to create a song just for the track. Then they have to obviously quantize it and just make sure everything is syncing and it flows like a normal song, because obviously you have a hook, you have verses, you have bridges, etc. So they have to then not only just place those instruments into the track, they have to organize it so that it flows in the fashion that they want. Play around with it a little bit, come back and tweak it. So that takes time. So that's step one if you go the producer route. Step two would then be, all right, if they already had the relationship with the artist and the producer, this song goes to that artist. The artist then listens to it. Perhaps the artist is the writer. It's possible that the writer could be a different person than the artist, but let's say for my position's sake, I am a writer, so I'm an artist and a writer. So I'm going to then listen to the beat. Sometimes it just flows, guys. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I could be sitting on the train and I hear a beat and I'm instantly like, a melody comes in my head. I'm like, oh, that's so dope, whatever. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you listen and some people are like, oh, well, that means you're not really feeling the song, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes a beat is super fire and you just feel really pressured to get it right. Well, sometimes you get the beat and you're just listening to it and you have to vibe with it first. So I'm gonna play you one of my new songs. I'm gonna play you the beat first. Shout out to DJ Victorious, who is crazy amazing with his Caribbean beats, and he always sends me rhythms. We've had 2 really successful songs in the past, Only You and All Over Me, and thank you, DJ Victorious, for trusting me with your music. So here we go, guys. Okay. Hey. So, you obviously can hear guitar, you can hear, like, there's levels. There's elements that come into play, they come in, they come out. So you get the beat first, you listen to it, you get a feeling, I usually start with a melody. So when I first started writing this song, I listened to it and just something stuck with and I was like, okay, all right. And I kept playing with that. So once I got the melody, I tried to stretch it out a bit. So that was my hook melody. And I was like, all right. So this is the vibe I'm feeling, like, I just heard that, and instantly I just put that on my voice recorder and I saved it, because you will forget if you don't save it. So I saved it, and then after that I went back, and obviously this doesn't all happen in one day. So this is another day that I'm like, okay, all right, I feel really confident about how this melody flows with the track. And I started writing to it. So then I decided on, I wanted to make sure that it had a Spanish vibe, and you know, it was a bilingual Spanglish song. So then I started writing, and I came up with the hook first. I had a melody and I had lyrics. So that's when I had my hook. I then recorded, or just on my phone, a little snippet of what the hook was gonna sound like, and I sent it to DJ Victorious. He loved it. Okay. I was so happy that he loved it, because I was feeling it, and when your producer also feels it, it's like, yes. So I felt like, and he was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. That's not even where I was going with it. So it was really cool that I brought something new to the table, and I felt good as a writer. Okay, so now we have melody and we have lyrics. Let's say that I completed the song. All right, so however many hours that took me to come up with a verse, because then I also had to come up with a melody for the verse, because the melody for the verse and the melody for the hook is not going to be the same. It needs to flow, but it's not going to be the same. So after I created the melody for the hook, and it was approved by the producer, and the lyrics came together, then I did a melody for the verses, and so then I started really writing, and getting into what I wanted the song to mean, what I wanted other people to feel, how I wanted to react with my audience, and get everybody dancing and feeling something from just listening to my lyrics. So I finished the song with pretty much everything written. Sometimes I will write just the first verse and a hook, and then I'll record everything just to see how it feels. And then if I'm in there and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll add this. So honestly, for me, I'll arrange the main layer of the song just by doing it without recording anything or going to the studio. And then once I get in the studio, I'll record the backgrounds, and I start to feel it in, and like you start to feel the magic, and you figure out what like vibes with it appropriately. So you know, there are going to be layers to your vocals. So you have the lead, then you have to record all of the undertones underneath it. So I stacked the hook, and then I created some ad-libs that I just naturally felt were a good vibe for the song. I also started recording the first verse, and that took a lot because I put in stacks in different harmonies. So it's not just one vocal that I'm recording. It's not just one take. So obviously you got to get it right. So after I got the first verse and I got the hook in there, I felt really good about it. I started writing for the second verse. Once I finish the second verse, I come back and I record, and now I'm just tweaking. So I noticed that one of the vocals was a little off in terms of sitting in the pocket. So I'm going to record just one piece of it. Here we go. Just to get it right in the pocket. So, here we go. Cuando te vayas, baby. That wasn't so good. I don't really like that vibe. Cuando te vayas, baby. And there you have it. And if the artist and the writer are different people, the next step from after writing the song, excuse me, after writing the song would be to record a demo and then let the artist hear it. So that's generally what happens for major artists that don't write their own songs. So a song would be submitted to them that was created by somebody else. So I am the artist, I am the writer. So all of those other steps were done by me for this song. And then the next step would be to like do any other final changes and then have it mixed. So I wanted to make sure I showed you guys what I meant by layers, stacks, or whatever you want to call them, different stems. So I'm just going to play you like different pieces. So if you see this is green, this is red, this is purple, this is blue, this is red. It's on the lead track. So I'm going to only solo that so you can hear what that is. Okay, so that is the lead. Then I have these little pieces in here on the extra stuff because I was being extra. Just some sound effects. All right. Then on this row, let's use this. Let's see. We'll just use this. It's a harmony. So that was just an ad-lib, and here's another layer. So each one has its own. So that's how you create. So that's how you create a full sound. So here's it all together. So there, that's what we do. So we literally have to record each piece one by one, and obviously you don't always get it right on the first take, so you have to keep recording until you get it all, and then you end up with all of this. So I hope you can see how much that is, and I'm still not done with the song, so I still have more to record, but that's what it takes to record a song. So mixing, I am not a professional mixer. I can engineer my sessions, and engineering just means I can record, I can click the button, I can move things around, I know how to crop and place everything in Pro Tools. But in terms of having the ear and knowing how to manipulate the sounds, I can do only so much, because I usually send out my tracks. So I basically finish everything in the song. I then just make sure that the track and everything is clean and all the vocals are clean, and then I send all of the files to a mixing engineer, and that would be the next step. So the mixing engineer would then mix it, and obviously this is with the approval of the producer. They have already listened to it. You guys, everybody that's on the team for this song is in agreement that it's really hot and you love it, and then you go to the point where you're mixing. You probably don't want to mix too much before knowing that you really love the song, but you can do that, and that happens where you mix the song and you're like, well, blah blah blah, or you send it to somebody who's funding the project and they're like, well, I think it's cool, but, and so sometimes you'll get to the mixing phase, finish everything, and then you'll end up going back and recording some more vocals or adding a feature, and that happens a lot of times. So a lot of times too, when you see other people featured on a song, they have finished everything, and even parts are already created in that space, and they will have the team review it, and then they're like, well, it could use another voice, or it could use another element, like something to spice it up, and they will send it to another artist and have the artist jump on it. Once the artist is finished recording their part, then they send it back to you, you approve, blah blah blah, and then you'll get it mixed. So the final-ish stage would be mixing and mastering for a song. And I'm not going to get into all the marketing and all that extra stuff that's after that process. But for the most part, you have now had at least 5 to 6 to 10 people or more involved in the process of creating a song. And that's why I'm like, I just really want other people to really appreciate what goes into a song. Because not only is there like multiple people's heart and soul for creation going into the project, but it's like, that was a lot of time. Like even recording is hours of recording. That's an engineer who has to engineer the project. There's engineer who has to mix. There's a producer that has to be involved. There might even be a post-production team. So it depends on how big the song is. And even if it's just one person doing it all, like we have to appreciate our artists and recognize that they put so much into it. And honestly, for the most part, we all do it for the benefit of our viewers and our people that love us, but it's not for us. Like we want to heal with our music. We want you to dance. We want you to feel happy. There's something that is inside of us that makes, for me at least, I'm gonna speak for myself, that makes us want to give back to other people. And I think that if I could explain why I want to do music, that's why. So I'm gonna give you guys a preview of my new song. It's definitely not mixed. I haven't done the final stage, which is 1, I still have more to record, and 2, I have not sent it to get mixed. So it's just literally just been recording. There's no sound effects, there's no auto-tune, there's no none of that. So once it's really done and it has been mixed, guys, I can't wait. It's gonna be amazing. Please leave a comment, let me know how you feel, and also subscribe to my channel, okay? All right, thanks guys. Okay guys, here we go. This is going to be one of my new songs on my album. What? So happy to finally be at this point where the album is almost finished. Like, you really don't know, because I put so much into it and so much love. So anyway, without further ado, here, I'm just giving you a snippet. It's not ready, but I'm going to give you guys just a little taste, all right? Alright guys, I can't wait to reveal everything to you. I hope you can hear it. Please show some love. Let me know how you feel about it. And I will be obviously editing and adding more to it. But this is the first snippet.